Greetings, my name is Khensani Nkatingi and it's such an honor and pleasure to be part of the WWF's One Planet City Challenge Youth Cohort. The theme this year is focusing on designing future cities for young people to live in, like myself. As we transition to a sustainable world, it is very important to understand that the transition needs to be just. And what I mean by that, it needs to be inclusive. I'm going to link this back to one of the Sustainable Development Goals, goal number 11, which looks at making cities and human settlements safe, resilient, inclusive, and sustainable. A lot of African cities are facing challenges as there's been an increase of people moving into the city, which has affected the water system, the energy system, the food system, and other systems that are interlinked to these systems. Because of that, supply cannot meet demand. And as we design the future that we want, looking at these challenges that are faced by the African cities, we need to solve them in a very strategic manner. And the way we solve these challenges would differ from one city to another. But holistically, we need to start redesigning policies, having very diverse leadership board. But I'd like to focus more on the importance of having a very inclusive stakeholder engagement. And having an inclusive stakeholder engagement would ensure that no one is left behind. The needs of every stakeholder that is dependent on the city, our needs are being met. And we understand one another. The youth, we need to be at the forefront. We need to be there when they're planning. We need to be there when they're designing. We need to be there when they're executing the plans. We can no longer leave the future in the hands of the older generation. Yes, we do need them to assist us and guide us. However, we need to be there and speak because we are the ones that will suffer the most from these challenges. We need to solve our socio-economic and socio-environmental issues in the cities in a very holistic manner, understanding the complexities of these systems. Yes, there will be unintended consequences, but as I understand that when we plan for this future, we need to plan with every stakeholder, but not for a certain stakeholder. Let's have a seat at the table. Let's also allow individuals to have a seat at the table. Let's make it easier for them to enter the room. We need to start looking at different ways of planning a very sustainable future. We need to be environmentally conscious of the way we do things. I'd like to live in a city where there is no inequality. Everyone is equal. We all have the same access to these resources that other marginalized groups don't have. I'd like to see human settlements that are just, that are safe and resilient. We need to start designing. We need to start thinking of different ways. And when we develop our cities as they grow and grow, when we plan, we need to understand the consequences. We need to understand that we're living in harmony with nature. We can no longer marginalize the environment. It is part of us. We are part of it. So let's stand up. Let us understand that what does an inclusive stakeholder engagement look like for you? Come together. Let's raise our voice. Let us be heard.